everyone, Joshua Myers here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Grave Encounters from 2011.
Do you see your element?
Yeah, these things have been messing with us. It looks like there was nothing there.
This building's a phase. It's like it just keeps changing all around us. I don't know which one we're gonna last. Where are you? I'm not alone anymore.
Grave Encounters star Sean Rogerson, Ben Wilkinson, Mackenzie Gray, and is directed by the Vicious Brothers. The plot of Grave Encounters is that a reality TV show crew filmed inside an abandoned mental hospital where unexplained phenomena was reported. They quickly realize that the building is more than just haunted. It has no intention of ever letting them leave. What are my positives with Grave Encounters? Honestly, for me, when I saw the trailers to this, I was like, yeah, it's just going to be a Paranormal Activity ripoff, and, you know, it's going to try to be more extreme, because that's what was saying, the marketing and that, and basically just, like, it, because, here's the thing, this film was actually a independent movie at the time that actually was submitted to a Canadian Film Festival, known as the Tribeca Film Festival. But anyway, as I was saying, and, you know, because it was, like, saying, like, there was this one, review quote from a critic saying this is Paranormal Activity on steroids, and from what they saw, what they showed us in the trailer, I felt like that's what was going to be, and, it's pretty good, actually, it's pretty damn good. So, first positive is that, you know, I thought there would have been a lot of extreme stuff going on in this movie. You know, balls-to-the-wall stuff from what I saw in the trailer and that. And it doesn't do that, actually. In fact, most of the movie, like, there's only some moments of the crazy shit, but even the crazy shit is not as extreme as it was trying to indicate in the marketing. And there's only, like, one or two, like, tops 3 little moments of, you know, the kind of batshit type of thing, you know, scares and that. Other than that, this film is very subtle. It plays off with suspense. I mean, just this whole mental hospital that they're in actually has, like, its own character, and literally, like, its own character. I do not want to ruin what I mean by that, but yeah. Also, I like the fact that this actually does kind of mock, you know, reality ghost hunting shows, actually. Like, it mainly seems like it's parodying the TV show Ghost Adventures, but it's also trying to, you know, make fun of other ghost hunting shows like Ghost Hunters and stuff like that. You know, saying that, like, basically making fun of the fact that it's all staged and everything, and it's not really going on. There's none of these ghostly activities going on. You know, at least from what they're capturing on camera. Like, everything's staged and that, and, you know, I think it does a really good job at that, too. Not only that, like, again, this film knows suspense, actually. There's a lot of, you know, like, you don't really get to see much of anything happen, really, for the most part. And when you, like, it doesn't get anywhere batshit crazy until, like, maybe the second half, and, you know, for the first half, it's, like, builds and builds upon the suspense and tension. Also, you start to see, like, the main TV crew start to, you know, because of what's going on, they start to, you know, kind of start losing it a bit. Even kind of, like, you know, with each other, and, you know, this hospital is a huge hospital, it looks like, and even with it being huge, it's like, you know, and presumably within range of society, it feels like it's isolated from society, and not only that, it also feels very claustrophobic, even though it's a big hospital. And knowing that this is also, I would consider, like, a psychological suspense, horror movie. Like, it really does play on your mind. It also plays on the minds of the characters, really. Like, it starts to really kind of, you know, they kind of start to descend into madness throughout, you know, this whole movie. And also, speaking of the characters, I think the actors pulled off, you know, their roles really well, and I think they really did show the you know, progression of them, you know, going mad really well. It's like a slow burn, actually. And there's some stuff in this movie that's honestly genuinely disturbing. Also, the pacing of this film is really good. This film's about an hour and a half and doesn't feel like it by the time you're done with the movie. And another positive I have with this film is that, you know, just the history and lore they build with this location, with the hospital, is really damn interesting. Like, I want to know more about it. I want to know what's going on with this hospital. But at the same time, I also don't want to know, because if I do, then it would lessen the effect of this, you know, this creepy-ass environment. What are my negatives with Grave Encounters? Honestly, for me, my negatives mainly stem from just certain stylistic choices. Like, for example, like, I don't mind the idea of it being, you know, handheld found footage like it is, but there's some moments where it's like, you know, has that kind of glitchy effect, which I could just pop one in right now. See, like that. It does that, and there's a lot of times it does that, like, when an effect appears, it does that, and it almost seems like it's trying to hide a crappy effect, and I'm like, okay, if you don't think the effect's good, then just, like, you should have just shot another scene and without any effects. I would rather have you not have any effects than to have crappy effects in, or something like a overlay trying to hide the crappy effects. And even these glitch effects look like what I just showed you, which were, you know, green screen, overlaid, you know, royalty-free footage that you could get from YouTube. That's what it exactly looked like. You know, and it just came off as cheap. It kind of, like, this stuff kind of cheapened the movie. Also, when they do show, like, the crazy stuff in that, which there are makeup effects in that, some of them are okay. Others are kind of cheap, and the effects they do on some of these spirits and that, it's stuff that, honestly, I've seen people do on Adobe After Effects. So with that said, I'm going to give Grave Encounters a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Honestly, for me, this is a really damn good horror movie. Especially for, like, for an independent movie and found footage. And, you know, for them to do what they were able to do with this movie, I think it works. And honestly, if you guys like horror movies and that, which I know a lot of you do, but if you guys never seen this movie, I'd highly recommend it. You could get it on digital or you could get it on DVD. You know, I know that you could get on, for example, Vudu.com, like on Vudu Movies. Like on Vudu Movies, you could rent it, which honestly, the rent price is not that bad. It's like $2. So, yeah, if you just want to rent it and watch it for yourself, if you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Especially if it's, like, I highly recommend it just for at least one viewing of it. And for me, I've seen this movie, like, a lot of times now. It's honestly would probably be within my top 10 horror movies of all time. So that's it for this review. This has been Grave Encounters. Joshua Myers, signing off.